Check 1 2 1 2.
Live across the universe.
Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's about that time, y'all.
you are now in the mix.
It's time to wake up, folks, with Kennedy Lucas and Cole Marks. Don't touch that button. You're locked in to Wake Up Live from K.L.P Studios.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal and medical services.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Live across the universe.
Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's about that time, y'all.
you are now in the mix. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time to wake up, folks, with Kennedy Lucas and Cole Marks. You're locked in to Wake Up with Kennedy Lucas and Cole Marks, the show that caffeinates your brain before the coffee even hits your cup. From headlines to hip-hop, sunrise vibes to side-eye truths, this is how mornings were meant to sound. Let's rise and shine, right here, right now, only on Wake Up.
Good morning, ATL, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another exciting short episode of Wake Up ATL presented by Our Heart Media. Ladies and gentlemen, officially semi-back in the studio. I want to say I'm more like an 85% better than the last 2 days. I will say that. I say to a lot of people, as the weather does change, I do hope that everybody get ready to, if you happen to be like minor sick, go ahead and try to find some remedies. I tell y'all, find that remedy so that way you guys don't get sick again. Let me tell you, it feels good to be semi back here in the studio to give you guys another episode, well rested. That's one of the things that I did the last 2 days is sleep. A whole lot of sleep, whole lot of medicine. Let me tell you, NyQuil and DayQuil, especially NyQuil will knock you out. And a whole bunch of medicine, of course, to help you boost your immune system as well. I say to a lot of people, if you're out there traveling or you're out venturing out, please be safe. As the weather does change, because the weather is changing up on us. I say to a lot of people, be prepared for that weather change if your body is prone to get sick from a weather change. I think it's a mixture of things. A lot of people ask me, I think it was the weather changing and then me not being more cautious at the gym is what I got to say, because germs do spread. So I say to a lot of people, if you're able to find some remedies for the sickness, I tell y'all, find that remedy. If you feel like you're having a cough or a sniffle, go find that thing, that remedy, whether it's hot soup, because that's one thing I've been eating: soup and grilled cheese and medicine. That's it. That's all I can muster. And orange juice and juicing. So I do say to a lot of people, if you're able to go out there, find those remedies. I am going to attempt the gym session today, a light session, because they did say when you have just minor, I'm not even like, head doesn't hurt, throat doesn't hurt, just got a little bit of the sniffles. They say that helps open your system up just a little bit more. So I do say to a lot of people, when it comes down to it, if you're able to find those remedies for sure. Stay safe out there because sickness is real. It's one of those things that happen. Now, I wanted to talk about this real quick this morning. Wake Up with ATL, of course. Microsoft to lay off 1,900 employees in the gaming industry. And let me tell you something. This is very sad for a lot of people in the gaming industry, because the gaming industry, I got to say, is not going anywhere. Gaming industry is going to be here forever. It's going to be one of those things that is going to be here for a very, very long time, regardless of what you think. So, Microsoft to lay off 1,900 employees in the gaming industry is very, very sad. Now, the layoffs comes after a brutal year in gaming industry, in which the establishing 6,500 people or more on the field lost their jobs. And it's very sad because a lot of people, let me tell you, people are losing jobs left and right, especially if it's not in the filming industry, it's in the gaming industry. If it's not in the gaming industry, it's a little bit of the streaming industry. Now, Microsoft, to lay off that many people in its gaming division, according to the company's memo seen by CNBC, the cuts come in conjunction with Blizzard president Mike Yarborough announced he would depart from the company as well. In the memo, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer said that the layoffs were intended to minimize areas of overlaps. Of course, NBC News have not revealed the memo fully out there for a lot of people out there when it comes down to it. Very, very sad for the gaming industry, Microsoft to kind of lay off that many people. It is a scary world out here because you've got a lot of employees that not only does this as a job, right, but does it as they do it because they enjoy the gaming industry. A lot of people would ask me, because I thought about it in my college career. I thought about it. I thought about, what if I studied video games, right? What if I studied the video game industry? And it's one of those things that I don't think I'm ever going to dabble into because, hell, I don't want to lose a job in the gaming industry, because then what else do? You can't go back to college. If you got a college degree in gaming, because there are colleges that offer that, and you get laid off, it's like, now what do you do? Now you can go find other gaming studios to apply for, but we all know the apply rates for jobs are pretty slim right now. A lot of people can't get jobs right now. Then what do you do? So it's a scary world we live in. I know it has a little bit to do with politics, and we won't dabble so much into that. But it's one of those things that it does happen when it comes down to, a lot of these jobs. They're getting gone left and right. And I say to everybody who have jobs, you better hold on to the jobs you have for right now, because if you try to be courageous and say, hey, I'm gonna go find something else to do, I want another career, you might be slim right now. You might be a little bit difficult right now, right? It might be a little tough to go into watching or doing those different types of video games right now. It sucks for Microsoft to do this, but it is what it is. It's not something that's new to a lot of people in the industry. A lot of people they're losing their jobs left and right, and that's just like the whole end game of it all. People are losing jobs left and right, and there's not much they can do about it but to just lose their jobs and try to figure out something else to do, something else to do out here in the limelight. So it's very, very sad. Now, one more thing that I've been watching that I can do a semi-review on when I was, in bed the last 2 days. Boy, howdy, let me tell you, I was sleeping a whole heck of a lot. I watched this documentary series. It's called History of Sitcoms. And it's a very good documentary. I do recommend people watching it on HBO Max. Is available for streaming right now. Can't wait, because today I think some new episodes, some new seasons start. I know SWAT, I think, starts their new season for streaming. The Morning Show from Apple starts their new season today. I can't wait to catch up on that. But I watched the History of a Sitcom docuseries, and it's one of those things where it's a very good documentary to watch. I do recommend people going out there to watch documentary series. Netflix has been watching. They've been producing a lot of good documentaries that I've been watching. I think I reviewed one on K.L.P Aftermath. It is Unknown Number, the high school catfish documentary, and the TikTok influencer documentary I've been watching too. But History of Sitcom is a very, very good. It's a very, very good docu-series that I recommend. Now, it's kind of telling the origin stories of people who were in sitcoms. You had a lot of people from a whole tons of sitcoms. And believe it or not, I had no idea there was a lot of sitcoms out there. But there are a lot of sitcoms out there, y'all. Let me tell you, it is a lot of sitcoms where from the 50s down to the 60s down to the 70s, right? Of course, they did a story on the Cosby Show. They did a story on the Jeffersons and Good Times, the shows that I know. They did a piece on Martin, and then they did pieces on Friends. They did pieces on Roseanne, which sucks for Roseanne because she could have been in the spinoff, The Connors, but she did that racist tweet. Now she destroyed her career. And then you had, sitcoms from the 50s where it was very interesting times, right? You had the was it the Honeymooners? Honeymooners, they did a piece on that where the husband was just abusive to the wife, right? But it was acceptable because it was the 40s and 50s, right? It was a different time period. So a lot of people watched a lot of sitcoms. There's boatloads of sitcoms out there that I didn't even know about. Obviously, me being born in 1996, there's some that I didn't know about. Of course, they did a piece on Living Single and the Steve Harvey Show, right? A lot of people have their own kind of spin-off show. The Andy Griffin Show. I know my grandma, God rest her soul, that was her show. So it was very, very good to watch that documentary series. Just kind of talking more about documentaries out there, and documentary history has been available a lot. So I do recommend people going out to watch that docuseries. Is available on Max. If you need something to watch, especially if you were sick, there's a lot of things you can watch. And boy, howdy, I was watching that. I was watching a whole bunch of cartoons too, because working from home, I'm in bed. I'm gonna watch that. And then I did the rewatch of Nashville, right, on Netflix, because why not? Need something to watch while I'm in bed. So, like I say, go check that docuseries out. It's available right now on HBO Max, guys. You will not be disappointed. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Cole Marks for the rest of the remaining of the show of Wake Up ATL. That's going to do it for my piece. But Cole, take it away.
Good morning, ATL. Thanks, Kennedy. The boss of NVIDIA says he is disappointed that China has reportedly ordered its top technology companies to halt purchases of the firm's artificial intelligence, AI chips. Jensen Huang told BBC News the U.S. needs to make sure that people can access this technology from all over the world, including China. He added, the advance of human society is not a zero-sum game. Mr. Huang is one of a number of tech bosses, including Microsoft's Satya Nadella, accompanying U.S. President Donald Trump on his state visit to the U.K. President Trump is very clear, Mr. Huang said. He wants America to win, and President Xi wants China to win, and it's possible for both of them too. But he believes the conversation will sort itself out. Donald Trump is expected to speak to China's President Xi Jinping on Friday. NVIDIA, the world's leading chip maker, had previously been banned from selling its most advanced chips to China before Trump reversed the ban in July. NVIDIA has to pay 15% of its Chinese revenues to the U.S. government in an unprecedented deal struck in the summer. On Wednesday morning, the Financial Times reported that China's Cyberspace Administration had told tech companies to stop using NVIDIA chips, which had specifically been manufactured for the Chinese market. Shares of the U.S. company were down more than 1% in pre-market trading. Mr. Huang said he would support the U.S. as they try to resolve geopolitical issues, and would tell the same thing to Trump if he is asked about it on Wednesday evening. The UK is hosting Trump at a state banquet, where tech bosses, including Mr. Huang, are expected to attend. The US and China have been in trade talks in Europe this week. On Monday, China's market regulator said NVIDIA had violated Chinese anti-monopoly laws without giving any more details. NVIDIA has become central to the AI boom, with its computer chips powering data centers around the world. But China wants to rival the US's global dominance in the AI space and has been developing its own chips as part of its AI strategy. Large tech companies such as DeepSeek, Tencent, and Alibaba had been among the Chinese companies which had ordered NVIDIA chips before the order to stop buying them. NVIDIA was one of many U.S. tech companies to announce investments into the UK as a tech pact between the two companies was signed. This includes supplying chips to the Stargate UK data center, which will open in northeast England, in collaboration with OpenAI, ARM, and Nscale. Coming up next this morning, artificial intelligence can predict people's health problems over a decade into the future, say scientists. The technology has learned to spot patterns in people's medical records to calculate their risk of more than 1,000 diseases. The researchers say it is like a weather forecast that anticipates a 70% chance of rain, but for human health. Their vision is to use the AI model to spot high-risk patients, to prevent disease, and to help hospitals understand demand in their area, years ahead of time. The model, called Delphi 2M, uses similar technology to well-known AI chatbots like ChatGPT. AI chatbots are trained to understand patterns of language so they can predict the sequence of words in a sentence. Delphi 2M has been trained to find patterns in anonymous medical records so it can predict what comes next and when. It doesn't predict exact dates, like a heart attack on October 1st, but instead estimates the likelihood of 1,231 diseases. So just like weather, where we could have a 70% chance of rain, we can do that for healthcare. Prof. Ewan Birney, the interim executive director of the European Molecular Biology Laboratory, told me. And we can do that not just for one disease, but all diseases at the same time. We've never been able to do that before. I'm excited, he said. The AI model was initially developed using anonymous UK data, including hospital admissions, GP records, and lifestyle habits such as smoking, collected from more than 400,000 people as part of the UK Biobank research project. The model was then tested to see if its predictions stacked up using data from other biobank participants and then with 1.9 million people's medical records in Denmark. It's good. It's really good in Denmark, says Prof. Birney. If our model says it's a 1 in 10 risk for the next year, it really does seem like it turns out to be 1 in 10. The model is best at predicting diseases like type 2 diabetes, heart attacks, and sepsis that have a clear disease progression, rather than more random events like infections. What can you do with the results? People are already offered a cholesterol-lowering statin based on a calculation of their risk of a heart attack or stroke. The AI tool is not ready for clinical use, but the plan is to use it in a similar way, to spot high-risk patients while there is an opportunity to intervene early and prevent disease. This could include medicines or specific lifestyle advice, such as people likely to develop some liver disorders benefiting from cutting back their alcohol intake more than the general population. The artificial intelligence could also help inform disease screening programs and analyze all the healthcare records in an area to anticipate demand, such as how many heart attacks a year there will be in Norwich in 2030, to help plan resources. This is the beginning of a new way to understand human health and disease progression, said Prof. Moritz Gerstung, head of the Division of AI in Oncology at DKFZ, the German Cancer Research Center. He added, generative models such as ours could one day help personalize care and anticipate healthcare needs at scale. The AI model, described in the scientific journal Nature, needs refining and testing before it is used clinically. There are also potential biases as it was built from UK Biobank data, which is drawn mostly from people aged 40 to 70, rather than the whole population. The model is now being upgraded to account for more medical data, such as imaging, genetics, and blood analysis. But Prof. Birney says, just to stress, this is research. Everything needs to be tested and well-regulated and thought about before it's used. But the technology is here to make these kinds of predictions. He anticipates it will follow a similar path to the use of genomics in healthcare, where it took a decade to go from scientists being confident in the technology to healthcare being able to use it routinely. The study was a collaboration between the European Molecular Biology Laboratory, the German Cancer Research Center, DKFZ, and the University of Copenhagen. Prof. Gustavo Sudre, a neuroimaging and AI researcher at King's College London, commented, "This research looks to be a significant step towards scalable, interpretable, and most importantly, ethically responsible form of predictive modeling in medicine."
Made in Georgia.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Live across the universe.
Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's about that time, y'all.
you are now in the mix.
It's time to wake up, folks, with Kennedy Lucas and Cole Marks. Don't touch that button. You're locked in to Wake Up Live from K.L.P Studios.